In the record books is a 20-point defeat, but coming off the All-Star break with 7 consecutive losses, this was a ball game that the Nets came into Chicago looking at a situation that they could get blown out, and it looks like a blowout. But a lot of good things tonight for the New Jersey Nets, who lead it by 1 going into the 4th quarter before the Bulls bench really does them in and turns it on in the final 12 for a 20-point win.
Real solid. Again, help but think how they deepen that bench. The confidence level so high.
Final score, Bulls 133, Nets 113. Back to wrap it up right after this. Chicago Stadium, where the Bulls have beaten the New Jersey Nets by a score of 133 to 113. Our Budweiser player of the game is Michael Jordan. Hits 13 of 23 shots from the floor, winds up with 34 points in the ball game, pulls down 9 rebounds, and just a Michael Jordan type night.
Yeah, just solid. And what he has done, Spencer, they all seem to play off him. And he'll make the extra pass, get everybody involved, and his shooting has improved, and Pippen's has improved, and Armstrong's has improved, and Grant's has improved. And you think of this bench too, all of a sudden competitive, excellent defense. They are ready. I think they're ready for the onslaught. Come June,
yeah, well,
they got a shot.
They outscore the Nets in the final quarter 40 to 19 after the Nets lead it going into the final quarter. And really the difference was, of course you have Michael Jordan, but the difference was the bench, and the defense, the pressing defense. Those turnovers they forced the Nets into at the start of the 4th quarter. That 14-2 run, and Armstrong was the man who really set the stage.
The Nets didn't have that good composure when they stepped up that defense. But if you're Bill Fitch and this team, you can say, hey, look, we did a lot of good things. Maybe, let's get back to where we were and, bounce back, which in the NBA you have to. Go to Philly, get somebody in their division, nail them a little bit, and see what happens. Played pretty well, I thought, considering. Yeah, I after that Washington game when everybody was so down, you never knew what to expect. But maybe some of the pieces falling a little bit back to where they were in those weeks where we were regaling at their play, and hopefully Mookie will be back. Yeah,
and hopefully Mookie will be back soon. Of course, tough to find positives in a 20-point loss, but they certainly were a good deal of them, and that's playing the Bulls tough for 3 quarters. We'll check out the NBA scoreboard. Indiana beat Orlando 100-98 down in Florida. Came from 6 behind in the 4th quarter to do it. Philadelphia surprised Miami down in Miami 114-102. That's a final. These are all finals until I tell you they're not, folks. Charlotte beat Atlanta 113-108. The Lakers held on to beat Minnesota in Minnesota by a score of 116-108. San Antonio clobbered Boston 100-84 in San Antonio. Now in the 4th quarter, Milwaukee leading Detroit. Big game for Milwaukee, 81-77 in the 4th. They're playing that one in Milwaukee. Utah leads Cleveland 58-57 at the half. 2nd quarter score at Portland. Denver leading the Trailblazers 33-25 in the 2nd. Early now at Seattle. Houston leading the Supersonics 28-22, and Washington Golden State, that game just getting underway. So the net losing streak is now at 8. And tomorrow night to Philadelphia. Friday night Philly comes to the Meadowlands. And Saturday night the Nets go to Cleveland. But a lot of positive things to build on. I think perhaps Coleman also getting the 5th personal foul early in the 4th quarter kind of retarded his game.
And he didn't play as well as he has to either. The last few games he's gotten out of his rhythm, I think. Trying to do too much, maybe trying to help the club in a way that's not like him. He's a contributor, but blends in. He's not a Michael Jordan kind that's going to go and get you 35. But
who is?
Well, that's true. who the heck is, or who has ever been? But hopefully it'll bounce back tomorrow.
Okay, well, the Nets lose it. The final score once again here in Chicago. The Bulls 133. The New Jersey Nets 113 as they outscore the Nets in the final quarter 40-19. High score for the Nets, Sam Bowie with 22 points. He got 20 of them in the 2nd half. Drazen Petrovic with 23 and 34 points for Michael Jordan. 23 for Scottie Pippen. 133-113. The Bulls win it tomorrow night at 7:30. The Nets will return to Sports Channel when we travel to Philadelphia to battle Charles Barkley and the 76ers. Thursday at 7:30, catch the Devils when they take on the Vancouver Canucks. Then at 11 on Thursday, check out Eric Lindros, the Canadian Olympic hockey team, when they battle the former Soviet Olympic team in the Sweden Games. That's at 11 o'clock. Until then, till tomorrow night, for Bill Raftery, this is Spencer Raw saying so long, and thanks for watching Nets basketball on Sports Channel. Now let's join Halls of Fame.